Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the Music Lab podcast. My name is Dogg, and I'm so excited to be back with all of you for another episode. Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe to our YouTube channel and our social media pages. That helps us, that helps the bands that we feature. Today we're featuring 5. Also, check out our sponsor, RAR Outfitters. That's RAWR Outfitters.com for all your clothing needs. Don't just wear RAR. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are back with our first of 2024, our bottom line on the bottom lines. And you might say, Dogg, what the heck are you talking about? Well, I'll explain. So when you look at a music festival lineup poster, and obviously most of us look at them digitally now through our phones or through our laptops, but you obviously notice at the bottom of those posters, you can barely read the writing of the bands. And as you go higher up, obviously the font and letter size get bigger. But as we are all about music exploration here at the Music Lab podcast, we like to focus on those bottom line bands and those bands that you're going to, if you're up that early, that are probably kicking off the festival each day or, in the mid-afternoon slots that you might miss, but they are fantastic. So this bottom line on the bottom lines, we're going to be talking about a music festival in Atlanta, Georgia, called Shaky Knees Festival. And this music festival started in 2013 by a gentleman named Tim Sweetwood. It started as a 2-day event and now commands 3 days, with headliners last year including The Killers, Muse, and the Lumineers. The name for the festival comes from one of his favorite bands and one of ours, My Morning Jacket, and their song Steam Engine. It is the premier and largest music festival held in Atlanta, and this year's lineup is sure to please the 40,000 people that will attend on May 3rd this year. So let's talk about the headliners a little bit first before we dive into our bands that we're going to be talking about. Friday night the 3rd, we have Noah Kahan headlining, Arcade Fire, one of our favorites, Young the Giant, Interpol, The Revivalists, Switchfoot, and then we get down to the list of one of the bands that we're going to be talking about. Actually, 2 of the bands are going to be playing on Friday. Saturday, we have Weezer headlining, Queens of the Stone Age, The Offspring, Girl in Red, Mike Snow, Royal Blood, one of our favorites, Chicano Batman, Dead Poets Society, which we featured on one of our episodes for either Welcome to Rockville or Rocklahoma, I forget. But yeah, they're really good as well. And then let's see. None of the Saturday bands, or none of the bands that we're featuring are playing on Saturday. Then we get to Sunday. Foo Fighters, ladies and gentlemen, headlining Sunday. Billy Idol, Portugal the Man, Dinosaur Jr., Waxahachie, Matt and Kim, The Struts, Kevin Morby, Chris Stone, Kingfish Ingram. And then Lamont Landers gets to play Shaky Knees. Lamont Landers, we got to interview, and we featured him on one of our South by episodes. And then we have 2 of the bands playing on Sunday. So let's get into our bottom line on the bottom lines. The first artist that we're going to be featuring is Odie Lay. Nice play on words, Odie Lay. The songs Double Shift, Either Way, and Chutes and Ladders. She released an EP last year in July, and she released also another EP in October of 2022. She is born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. She found her love of music early on when she sang in the church choir in a church her grandfather built. She moved to New Orleans to start a film career, but a bet with friends inspired her to write her first song during the pandemic. It's called Fine With Me, and the TikTok masses loved it. She is great, and you will definitely be treated to a great show if you see Odie Lay. The second band that we're featuring, Axe and the Hatchet Men. The album, they released an EP in July of 2020, and then Audio Tree, which is a great organization that puts out thousands of videos of bands in the live setting. They released a full-length album through Audio Tree in June of last year. The songs are Beelzebub, Drive-In Movie, and Utah. This is a 7-piece band from Chicago whose members are either finished with college or finishing this year, and where jazz band was the connection to their formation. Trumpet and sax really lend to the beach rock and alternative jazz feel as part of that wall of sound that 7 members can bring. They are a classic festival band. They're going to mix it up. It's going to be all kinds of different styles. Definitely get the crowd going. It's a good choice on Shaky Knee's part to have these guys, part of this lineup. So well done. The next band, ladies and gentlemen, is called Certainly So. The songs Foreign Ties, 1422, and Patience. They have 2 full-length albums, Dreams of Green, which came out in 2022, and then Future Self-Only Dreams in 2021. They're a 4-piece from Nashville by the way of Birmingham, Alabama, and Mississippi State University. They are currently opening for the Strumbellas on their spring tour, and they played South by this year, but unfortunately, we didn't get to see them. So hopefully our audience listening will see them at Shaky. The song Foreign Ties, we definitely a great song, and that was my intro into them, which is why they were on our radar for South by. So great band, Certainly So. The next band that we're going to feature is Eric Slick. And if you just looked at the name, you'd be like, okay, well, who's that? But you would find out, like I did, he is the drummer for Philadelphia rockers Dr. Dogg, the drummer. The songs I'm featuring are Lose Our Minds, Closer to Heaven, which features his wife on vocals, Natalie Prass, and then When It Comes Down to It, which I think might be one of my favorite songs of his. He has 2 albums called Wiseacre in 2020 and Palisades in 2017. Like I said, as the drummer for Dr. Dogg, he has a solo career as well, and he's played with Nels Cline from Wilco, the band Ween, pop singer Rustin Kelly, and he played drums on, you heard this, Taylor Swift's song You All Over Me. He has a new full-length album coming out in 11 days or 10 days on April 26th called New Age Rage. So definitely check him out, either on stage at Shaky Knees or listen to him wherever you listen to your music. The last band that we're featuring is a band called Benches. The songs are Naive, Red-Handed, and Crash. They have a full-length album called Wishful Thinking at Its Best, and that came out in 2019. And then they have a EP called Vandalism that came out in 2020. They are from San Diego, Southern California, four-piece that lead singer Anson Kelly formed 10 years ago while in middle school. You just have to think 90s Britpop fronted by Julian Casablancas of The Strokes, and you have this indie band that is open for Foster the People. Definitely a live act. I watched a couple YouTube videos of them live, and they definitely bring it. So it's definitely going to be a nice surprise for our listeners and watchers of this episode to see them live. So check them out. Benches. So that's our 5 artists and bands that we're featuring for our bottom line on the Bottom Lines Shaky Knees Festival. Odie Lay, Axe and the Hatchet Men, Certainly So, Eric Slick, and Benches. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you're not going to the festival, like I said, it gives you a chance. And I put on our socials a mixtape of each artist, a song, so you can kind of, reference that if you'd like. And if you are going to the festival, like I said, yeah, check these artists and bands out. I think you will definitely not be disappointed. So I hope you had as much fun as I did with this episode. And like always, make sure to like, follow, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, our social media pages. That helps us. That helps the bands that we're featuring. Also, check out our sponsor, RAR Outfitters. That's RAWR, outfitters.com. Don't just wear RAR. So, we are going to have more interviews coming up, more bottom line episodes, more of stuff that you like, that I like. We got some shows coming up that will be, that you'll see on social media that we are going to and attending. And at the end of the month, I'll be in Louisiana for Festival International and get to see my buddy Zach Edwards and the Medicine and the Deaders, amongst others. So, ladies and gentlemen, as always, I've been Dogg. You've been great. This is the Music Lab Podcast.